Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the DC Capstone Report. It's great to be back with you this week with another podcast on Alabama football. I want to thank Lance Shores in the studio. Lance does a great job of producing this podcast each and every week. We couldn't do it without him. So I want to thank Lance, thank my sponsors, RollTideBama.com and FreelancePictures.com. And also Karen Cottingham, realtor right here in Tuscaloosa with the Williams Group at Keller Williams. For all your real estate needs, contact Karen at 205-887-4008 for all your real estate needs. And right there on our website at dccapstonereport.com, Lance has placed a button so you can press on Karen's name and go right to her website to get her inventory. Look at her inventory of houses available here and across the state of Alabama. And also, RollTideBama.com and FreelancePictures.com are websites that's ran by Lance Shores, my producer, who helps me work on DC Capstone Report. And if you can go look at those sites for some great Alabama pictures, for some great pictures and videos. Lance is the best photographer I know of, and does a great job of putting up some pictures and some videos of all the great Alabama football content, as well as some wildlife pictures and photos as well. So check out my sponsors, RollTideBama.com, FreelancePictures.com, and Karen Cottingham, realtor right here in Tuscaloosa, the Williams Group and Keller Williams for all your real estate needs. Well, this week on the podcast, we're going to take a look at the Alabama football's upcoming game against the LSU Tigers. But in the first segment, we're going to look at the bye week improvement. In our second segment, we're going to take a look at the preview against LSU. And in third, we're going to look at the players to watch in the game against LSU.
You're listening to the DC Capstone Report. The DC Capstone Report is featured each Tuesday morning on the Martin Houston Show at Tide 100.9. You can listen live at Tide100.9.com.
Well, welcome back here on the podcast on DC Capstone Report podcast on Alabama football. Let's take a look at the first segment here, our bye week improvement. Well, one thing it looks like coming out of the bye week from everyone I've been able to talk to is the team has gotten healthy. They've been able to heal up. All the players that could play and get healthy in this game have done so. The only player that we know of that's completely out since the last game was Cole Adams. He's out for the year with a lower extremity leg injury. So he's the only one that we know of that will not be able to participate in this game. He had to have some surgery or something to take place during the bye week, so he'll be out for the rest of the season. But our thoughts and prayers are with him as he can get healthy and come back next year. That leaves a space open in the wide receiver room as well as a space in our special teams for our punt returns for us to fill. But we were able to get healthy. Most everybody else were able to healthy and heal up. One of the coaches said today that our football training staff is one of the best in the country, the best he's ever been around. And I can't agree more with him. Our football training staff, headed up by Coach Allen, Jeff Allen, is one of the best, if not the best, training staff in the country, and of the equipment and the things that we have at our disposal in our training and medical complex is amazing. What it can do to help recovery and restore some of our football players. So they took advantage of it. They were intentional. They didn't goof off during the bye week. All those that needed it worked during the bye week to get healthy. So that was the main objective, and I think that's one of the things that has happened that was very positive coming out of this bye week improvement. The second thing is there were no off-the-field issues recorded. A lot of times when we don't have a game, you might see some off-the-field issues that come up, but there's been none. This team seems to have stuck together, look forward, really zoned in and focused on the upcoming game against LSU to get better. And I think the third and final thing that they were improved on during the bye week was their preparation to self-assess and then prepare to make a difference in those things that they were able to see where some improvement needed to be made. Every one of the coaches talked about the bye week improvement and on being able to find some things that they need to work on and really work on and be dedicated to committed to improving those areas. So I think that we're going to see a better team come out of this bye week when we go in against LSU. Now, all that being said, it looks like also that the team, when they started practicing yesterday, came out with a good attitude. So you get out, you get healthy, you don't have any off-field issues, and then you improve in certain areas when you self-assess. That's all great. But, man, if you can come back with a good attitude, it's amazing. And I think That's exactly what's happened. This team is zoned in with a great attitude, really focused in on going up against LSU this week. And then your back's against the wall. This is a game you cannot lose. You can't lose any game anymore if you want to make the playoffs. So Alabama's got to win this game. It's a must-win game. It's on the road at Baton Rouge, and this team has got to come out with a good attitude. So really, really good to see them come out this bye week in the first practice yesterday, being a really good attitude. Each and every one of the players, the team as a collective. So overall, I think the bye week improvement really helped this team, helped them to get healthy, helped them to they did well off the field, and they helped them to work and self-assess and work on those things. So coming out, I think the bye week hit us at the exact right time when we needed it, and I believe we're going to be able to see when we take the field against LSU what this bye week has really, really helped us do is to improve us as an overall football team. Well, welcome back to the DC Capstone Report. Here in the second segment, we're going to preview the upcoming game against the LSU Tigers there in Baton Rouge, Death Valley. Alabama goes on the road, 6:30 in the evening, a night game in Baton Rouge. Possibly might be some rainy weather. It might be one of those old-timey slobber-knocking football games that you have between Alabama and LSU there. A night game that everybody's talking about. It is a back-against-the-wall, win or go-home game for both teams. Both teams need to have this game to win to have a chance to continue on into the college football playoffs. If you lose any more games, neither team will have an opportunity to do that. So this is a big game for each side. So what does Alabama have to do to win this ball game? Well, number one, on defense, they've got to stop the run. LSU has a good offensive line. They have good blocking schemes. They run the ball, love to run the ball to set up play action passing. So the number one thing we've got to do is stop the run. We've got to stop the run on first and second down and put them in third and long situations. Why? Because the second thing we have to do is put pressure on the quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier is a quarterback who is a kid of a coach. He's a coach's kid. He knows cerebral in his head everything to do, and he has got a lot of confidence. So sometimes what that confidence does, it allows him to be aggressive and put the ball in tight spaces. So this Alabama defense, what we have to do is put him in third and long situations where we can have an opportunity to rush and pressure the quarterback to help to make him make split decisions that will cause him to turn the ball over. So we've got to pressure the quarterback and then create turnovers off of those tight space throws. He is really, really aggressive, and his aggressiveness has paid off, folks. He has made some explosive plays. They got some great receivers in Kyron Lacey, some great receivers that can get down the field and get open. But if we pressure him, get him in third and long situations and pressure him, then we can pretty much dictate the way they play in the passing game, putting pressure on the quarterback, make him make some of those throws. We can get some takeaways. And if we can create some takeaways, it takes the crowd out of it, takes the momentum out of it, and gives us the ball to take some time off the clock. So I think that's going to be very critical in this game, to put them in some third and long situations, pressure the quarterback into making mistakes, throwing in tight windows, and then create turnovers off of those mistakes. The final thing we need to do on defense is to get off the field on third down. We can't let Garrett Nussmeier extend plays with his legs. We can't let them convert third and long or fourth and medium plays. We're going to have to get off the field on third and fourth down. And I believe if we do that, if we stop the run, if we pressure the quarterback, make him throw in tight spaces, create some turnovers, and then get off the field on third and fourth down, then I think this defense has a great game on the road. If we can do those, it puts our offense into a great opportunity for a victory. So what do we do on offense? I think in order to watch, what we need to do is start fast on offense. We've had some slow starts lately where we go 3 and out, giving the ball back to the other team. We can't do that. We've got to start fast. Starting fast on offense takes the crowd out of the game and takes the pressure off your defense. So we've got to help our defense in this game by starting fast, getting the crowd out of the game, and allowing us to take advantage of some early explosive plays. In order to do that, starting fast, we're going to have to run the ball and use Jalen Milroe, use his legs in some of the running plays. By that I mean we need to have some dedicated running plays for him, but he needs to be able to, when the pass play breaks down, to run the ball and extend plays. I think LSU has shown that they have an issue containing some running quarterbacks. So I believe that Alabama can take advantage of that. The games that LSU has had some trouble, Texas A&M beat them by running the ball. Ole Miss almost beat them by Jackson Dart extending plays on third down. And South Carolina had them beat with their running quarterback. So we have a potential here to get Jalen Milroe in the game. As Jalen runs the ball, I believe it opens up a lot more running lanes for handing off on run-pass options and a lot more pass plays. So if we run the ball in this game, I think it's going to set up our passing plays. And by that, what I mean is take advantage of what they give us. Take advantage of what they give us. If they move up in the box to stop the run, then throw those passes over the heads of the linebackers in space, and allow our athletic wide receivers take advantage of that. So I really believe that we can win this game on offense if we run the ball and dedicate ourselves to running the ball, and then if we can throw those intermediate passes. And then the third thing is take a shot downfield with Ryan Williams or Kendrick Law. Take a shot to get them open downfield and try to extend make their defense play back. By doing that and taking advantage of that, it allows us to run the ball even better. As they come up into that run zone to try to stop the run, then we can take advantage of the pass as well. If we're hitting on all cylinders, running the ball and passing the ball, then I think it's going to be a long night for the LSU Tigers. We have a chance to really come away with a big victory. The other thing we got to do on offense is don't put our team in third and long situations. We've got to take advantage of first and second down, and don't get in third and long. Why? LSU has two of the best outside pass rushers. They're in the top 10 defense in quarterback sacks. And the way they do that is they've been able to stuff the run, put teams in long passing, third and long passing situations where they can just pin their ears back and tee off on the quarterback. Well, we're gonna have to avoid third and long situations and make sure that we can get ourselves in manageable third downs where they don't know we're going to pass or run, or that Jalen's going to run, and allow us to not have to be able to extend these plays on third down. And finally, for our offense to be productive, our offensive line is going to have to stand the test against a great athletic defensive line, coached by a great defensive line coach in Bo Davis. So we're going to have to stand the test against them. So this is a game for our O-line to man up and block well and protect our quarterback if we want to win this game in Baton Rouge. So I believe we can do it. I believe we have an opportunity to come away really making a difference for what people think about us, what the poll thinks about us, what the voters think about us by winning this game and winning it handily. And we can do just that by stopping the run on defense, putting them in third and long situations, and then us running the ball well on offense enough to keep us out of third and long situations. And our O-line's got to block well. If we do that, I think we're going to win this game. And I think we're going to win this game based on the best full overall performance on offense and defense on the road in Baton Rouge. That's how Alabama will win this game, by playing the perfect game offensively and defensively. Well, welcome back to the DC Capstone Report. Here in the third and final segment, we're going to talk about our players to watch in this game against LSU. Well, I think down the line on offense, the number one player to watch is Jalen Milroe. I think as Jalen plays in this game, so does our offense. If our Jalen has a big game, our offense is going to have a big game. So I think Jalen Milroe is a player to watch. Will he use his legs? Will he extend plays on third down? Will he extend drives on third down? Will he be able to pass the ball with some zip and some precision to get it in tight spots, get it in the right spots? So I believe if he does all those and he has a great game, then our offense is going to have a great game. I think on offensive production-wise, as far as wide receiver, I look at Kendrick Law in this game. I think that Kendrick Law is primed to have a big game. I think he can affect this game by blocking, and he can affect this game by running the ball and by passing the ball. in 3 separate areas. I think watch for Kendrick Law to make a difference in this game. And then finally on offense, Jam Miller, Justice Haynes. Whichever one has the ball in their hands, will they be able to run the ball against this big, athletic, aggressive defensive line of LSU? And if Jalen Milroe has a great game, Kendrick Law makes some big plays, and Justice Haynes and Jam Miller are running the ball well against this defensive line, then I think you're going to find out when you're watching those players that Alabama's having a great offensive production. On defense, who do we need to look for? I think Jihad Campbell and Deontay Lawson of the linebackers are going to tell you what kind of game. If they come up in there and they're able to stop plug those holes and stop the running game, it's going to put LSU in some 3rd and long situations that's going to cause them to we're going to create some turnovers. So I believe Jihad Campbell and Deontay Lawson are 2 main players to watch on the defensive line. And the third on the defensive linebacker core. And on the third person to watch on that defense is Damani Jackson. How will Damani Jackson as cornerback hold up against the athletic wide receivers that LSU has? They're fast, they run good routes, and they're very aggressive, really strong. So can Damani Jackson, did he get well enough during this bye week to come back and play his best game? I think those 3 players on defense are players to watch. Well, if everything that I've talked about goes Alabama's way in this game, I believe Alabama wins this ball game, gets ahead early, and then holds on for a victory. And I believe when it's all said and done, we leave Baton Rouge, Alabama 37, LSU 24. That's Alabama 37, LSU 24. Well, that's it for the DC Capstone Report this week. Thank you all for tuning in, for listening. I want to thank my sponsors, RollTideBama.com, FreelancePictures.com, and Karen Cottingham Realtor, right here at the Williams Group of Keller Williams, right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. For all your real estate needs, contact Karen at 205-887-4008. And as always, I want to thank Lance Shores right there in the studio, producing everything that you hear about the podcast. Go out and like us on Facebook. Listen to our DC Capstone Report Facebook page. Go to our website, dccapstoneport.com. Like us on YouTube. Hear us, watch us on Spotify. Everywhere you can get this podcast, like it, share it, get the word out there about this podcast on Alabama football. Well, thank you. Next week, we'll be back to talk about hopefully a great victory against the LSU Tigers, where Alabama goes in to Baton Rouge at night and comes out a victory. Again, my score is Alabama 37, LSU 24. Until next week, this is DC with the DC Capstone Report, signing off for the big Roll Tide.